Yeah, we call you saying, here, you filthy animal.
Hi, YouTube.
What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. The following video is going to be a new segment that I'm trying to launch, I guess. It's about my parents, and it's called Parent Talk. Parent Talk is going to be my parents letting them express themselves however they may, and maybe get some perspective on the issue or on a topic. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I think that's it. Without further ado, enjoy the video.
Basically to the whole thing where I was getting my passport and stuff like figured out, and then when the passport finally got in, my mom was, mommy was there, and I was like with tears in my eyes, and I was saying, Mommy, I'm gonna go to Dominican Republic, like it's actually happening, and how excited I was before going. And then the day before, literally Thursday, when we were going to church, and how I was an emotional wreck. Everything wasn't falling into place, and you know how growing up in church you're like everything will fall into place, everything will be, and then I'm like the night before, and I don't have a flight, I don't have like someone who's gonna pick me up at the airport, like I'm trying to figure out all these different things. So I remember coming in the room and I was really upset, and I was like, Mommy, that's it, blah blah blah, whatever.
I think as a mom, I think you like to have everything under control. For your kids. For your kids, And see you're so excited to go and do what your heart, was leading you, and seeing that everything was not in control. Sometimes it's difficult to say to you, God is in control. As a mom, I have to support you. As a mom, I have to tell you everything is going to be okay. The things happen for a reason. En la Biblia dice también, no podemos, dejar de que las circunstancias, cambien lo que nosotros creemos. And it was hard for me too, because, I was excited to see you going to to do something, that God was...
The first time.
Exactly, the first time. Even though that I was worried about you going to Dominican Republic, another, country that you don't know. I don't know, I was worried, but I was happy that you were going to do something good, and seeing everything like that, as a mom, it worries me. And me, and I think the people that knows me is that I'm always in control. And that time I wasn't in control. But that night I was so nervous because I was going to preach about something that it was occurring in my house, and y para poder predicar y decir, what, ya que tú has puesto la mano en el arado, no lo dejes. Y yo sabía de que si Dios te había permitido tener el dinero para ir, tu corazón había estado dispuesto para ir, and also, everything was going to be in place. I know that the devil was not happy, because you were going to do something, and sometimes, the devil wants to be in the middle. And that night, I remember that night, and when I was preaching, I was thinking about, Michi, and I said, God, please, just put everything together. I know you're in control, and sometimes, it's hard to just sit back and then let God, let God. But I was happy that you went and that you hiciste lo que tenías que hacer, lo que tu corazón quería, and I was happy too. I was happy that you were over there, and that we learn. And I always tell you, what, we have to learn y sobrepasar las cosas para que si otra persona pasa por eso, then you guys can help, you know, and I think that's my theory para todo, you know, okay, something happened for a reason.
Do you remember the drive up there? The drive where I drove the van because you were really tired.
Mm-hmm.
So I drove, and I was every song that came on, I was like, oh my God, this is for me. And like, George got it. And every single song that played, it was like, it spoke to me in such a level that I couldn't comprehend. Even the service that night,
Yes.
I was playing drums, and I was just like, I kept looking at Mom, and I was like, Mom, like, this is for me, this is for me.
Yes.
And everything
Yes.
ended up falling exactly the way that it needed to fall. Everything fell into place. Everything was perfect. Like, it couldn't have been any better. I didn't miss anything, because I felt like the biggest thing for me was I didn't want to miss out on anything on the trip.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I wanted the full effect of me getting there with the group. Unfortunately, I wasn't there like with the big group that was going, but it almost was like, you know what, regardless if you're alone or if you're in a group, you're gonna get to your purpose. Whatever you're going to fulfill will be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was just really funny.
I think lo único que uno tiene que hacer es decir, heme aquí, estoy dispuesto. Ya lo demás, aunque vengan, lo que venga, you know,
because it's gonna be a lot.
It's gonna be a lot, yes,
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a lot. Pero si lo sabes sobrepasar con Dios, okay, not sin Dios. Y siempre les he dicho, with God, without God.
Yeah.
With God, without God. You know, so cuando ustedes, you know, ponen su mirada y saben de que es de parte de Dios, se va a cumplir no matter what.
Yeah. It's meant to be. It's meant to be.
I was just worried because you were going to a different country.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of like criminal activity too.
It is a lot of criminal
actually,
activity.
It's funny because a lot of things, or you know, I hadn't done a lot of research prior to going on the trip, but every time that someone would tell me, especially someone from Dominican Republic, they kept telling me, oh my gosh, there's so much need, there's so much stuff that, so much of God that is missing.
Yeah.
And prior to the trip, like literally a few weeks before, there was like people getting robbed, there was people getting taken in, and I didn't know until I think a few days before, and then I'm like, you know, I was like totally fine because I knew that God had control of everything, but just realizing that there were things like that in a country that I was going to, and then I can only imagine how you guys felt.
You imagine you know, if something happens to you, we don't have the ability to do anything from here. You know, so that is the most worry that we were going through. But you know, I knew that you were actually pursuing something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm happy, very happy for you. Very happy for you. Yeah, that's my friend. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the part, or that's the section with my parents, and.